Hello and welcome back to the Darshan channel. Today in this video we are going to discuss how to check the validity of an argument by using shorter truth table method. This method is also known as reduction ad absurdum. Chaliye, now let's start with some basic things which you should know before starting with the shorter truth table. So again, जैसे कि in case of a dot or in case of conjunction, when will this conjunction be true? So this conjunction में जब आपका दोनों conjuncts true रहता है तो true रहता है, right? So P dot Q will be false in three conditions. False अगर आपका false true है या false false है, in that condition it will be false. So you should know this basic things. जैसे P horseshoe Q false would be only in one condition, जब antecedent true or consequent false हो. And it can be P horseshoe Q can be true when it is true true, false true, ये आपका false false आता है. उस केस में it can be true. Now again let's see P wedge Q. P wedge Q में if you'll see, it can be false only in one condition, but when both the disjuncts are false. So P wedge Q में it can be true when it is true true, false true, या फिर true false. So this is the basic thing which you should know before starting with the shorter truth table method. Now let's see some of the steps in shorter truth table method. First one is assuming that the argument is invalid, and you know in invalid cases premises will be true and conclusion will be false. Now the second step is truth values corresponding to the truth premises and false conclusion are entered beneath the main operator. So you will be assigning the values. And then the main thing is, if no contradiction in the argument, it is valid. अगर contradiction आता है, then in that case it will be valid. अगर contradiction नहीं है, उस case में it will be invalid. Now moving to the next one, if you'll see, assuming arguments is invalid, जैसे कि true premises and conclusion as false. अगर contradiction आता है, that means it is valid. अगर contradiction नहीं आता है, then in that case it is invalid. Now let's solve some question. So let's start with the first question. जिसमें you have to see, this is the premise, this is also the premise true, and this is the conclusion. Now the first step is you have to write it in one row, P horseshoe Q wedge R, and then you have negation Q, and then R horseshoe P, which is your conclusion. उसके बाद what we have to do is we have to assign the values. So how will you assign the values? You'll simply write true, true, and false, because we are assuming the premises as true and conclusion as false. Now in the next step what you have to do, ये आपका first step है, सब values डालते हैं. In the second step what you will be doing is you will be writing false, and you know false will be possible only in one condition, when the antecedent is true and the consequent is false. So again ये आपका second step हो गया. Now you have the value of R, you have the value of R as true and value of P as false. So simply assign the values. यहाँ पे P है, so negation P का value will be true, so just write true here, and R का value is true, so you'll simply write the value of R here. And we already have the value of negation of Q, so Q का value will be false. Now let's see, false true will be true, true true will be true. So again we see there is no contradiction in this part. So अगर contradiction नहीं होता है, that means that the argument is invalid. So you have to write the argument is invalid here, because by assuming the premises as true and conclusion as false, there is no contradiction. Now let's move to the next question. Next question may we have three premises. So again we have to take all three premises as true and conclusion as false. Let's solve this question. P horseshoe Q wedge R, Q horseshoe S, P, and then negation of R horseshoe S. So you'll simply write T, T, T T, and then this will be false. Again, this will be false only in one condition, when the antecedent is true and consequent is false. Now we have the value of S as false, value of negation of R as true, so R will be false, and we also have the value of P here, true. So let's assign the value P, and then we have value of S is false. Okay, now if S is false here, in this case if S is false here, so Q का value should also be false, because अगर Q का value T आता, so यहाँ पे फिर contradiction आता, so you are taking Q का value as false, so you can simply write the value of Q as false, and we already have the value of R as false. So again, false will be false. So again, if you'll see here, यहाँ पे false है, यहाँ पे true है. Antecedent is true, consequent is false, that means it should be false. So we have contradiction here. Contradiction meaning that the argument is valid. Now let's solve the next question. Again, we have three premises here. So we'll simply write negation of P horseshoe Q, Q horseshoe P, P horseshoe negation of Q, and P dot negation of Q. Again, simply you have to assign premises as true, conclusion is false. Now in this question we have three premises and one conclusion. So obviously there should be one conclusion. So again यहाँ पे T and you'll take this one as F. Now in this question, if you'll see carefully, again true can be in three condition horseshoe में again यहाँ पे भी T है, यहाँ पे भी T है. And if you see false, again false also is possible in three condition. Now let's take one condition first and then the other two also. So let's see, P का value is T and negation Q का value is false. In that case it will be false. So P का value will be T. Let's just assign the value of P here. Negation of P will be false. So simply आपने assign कर दिया. Negation Q का value is false, meaning Q का value is T. Q का value आपने T assign कर दिया. Negation Q का value is false. So again यहाँ पे there's contradiction, true, false, false. So again we have contradiction, meaning that the argument is invalid. Now let's see the other cases also. What if हमने दोनों false ले लिया, दोनों conjuncts को false ले लिया, in that case also it will be false only. So simply assign the value, P का value is false, false. Again negation P का value will be true, and then negation of Q is given here is false. So Q का value will be T, and negation Q का value will be false. So again false is true, there's no problem. True, false, again आपका true आ रहा है, it should be false. So again यहाँ पे contradiction है, meaning that the argument is invalid. Now there can be certain cases in which, let's suppose by taking this one as true or false आपका आंसर valid आ रहा है. एक केस में आपका let's suppose valid आ रहा है, and in the second case आपका invalid आ रहा है. So you have to take it as invalid only. The argument will be invalid in that case, even if आपका एक जगह एक केस में valid आ रहा है. Now let's see this particular question. Now let's see the next question. Next question maybe again we will be taking the premises as true and conclusion as false. So simply take T, the premises is true and conclusion as false. So again this will be true and this will be false in horseshoe, and it is antecedent should be true and consequent should be false. Now again here also we have the value of R and then R. So इस case में if you see P wedge Q, so it can be true in three conditions. When you take this one both as true, both the conjuncts are true. Yeah, if you take one conjunct as true and the other one as false. So we have तीन conditions here. So what we'll be doing is we'll solve the first condition first and then we'll try to solve the next two conditions. So first let's take P, which Q, both as true. So if you're taking both as true, so you simply write the value of Q here and value of P. Now in this case, you see this will be false, true false will be false, and true false will be false. So your answer is invalid because there is contradiction. Now similarly, let's solve this same question by using different values. So again, this will be false, this will be true, this will be false. Now instead of taking both the disjuncts as true, let's take one disjunct as true and the other one as false. So again, यहाँ पे it will be true, true. So P का value will be again T, Q का value will be false, Q का value will be false here, false, R का value is false. Now if you'll see R का value is false, false, false will be true, false, false would be true. So again, if you'll see here carefully, there's no contradiction anywhere because false, false is true, true, true is true, false, true is again true, and again true, false is false, and यहाँ पे true, false is false. So again, यहाँ पे it seems that it is valid. So it's very important to solve all three conditions, only then you will get the correct answer. So in such cases, the answer is invalid. Thank you for listening. Like, share, and